For this next leg of the challenge, we got Berlin. I chose A Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. Wow, it's very bright out here. For this next leg of the challenge, we got Berlin, and the prompt is to pick a book with a word in the title that means movement. So anything that you can do. I chose A Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. That's what I'm about to start. I believe this is a horror thriller. I don't know much about it at all. All I know is it is my Broken Binding box special edition. That's all I know. I think it has something to do with a serial killer, maybe. I'm not really sure. We're about to have dinner, and then I will be starting after. So right now we just came out to take a quick check of the pool. It's pretty warm out here today. It's like 85. But it's not quite as humid. It has been so stinking humid lately that I don't know if any of you are from the South or familiar with the weather in the South, but the humidity in the summer is out of control, and my hair just will not hold a curl and is a huge ball of frizz. So if you're wondering why I haven't been fixing my hair lately, it's because there's no point. It just looks like big frizzy mess by after the first time I step outside. So it's kind of pointless. We might go for a swim after dinner. But also I wanted to mention that we finished watching Fallout on Amazon Prime, and I thought that show was damn good. It was very cheeky. If you watched it, you know what I mean. It's almost very tongue-in-cheek, but it's based on a video game, which, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of it, but it is based on, in the 1950s, there is a nuclear fallout, a nuclear bomb, and so there are people that live beneath the surface in vaults, and then there are people that remained on the surface, and the surface is called the wasteland because there's ghouls and there's mercenaries and there's mayhem, and the people that live in the vault live this very secluded life because they are under the impression that they are supposed to repopulate the surface when it is safe to do so. So anyway, it's based on a girl who her father gets stolen from one of the vaults, and she goes to find him and get him back, and all kinds of hijinks ensue. It was really fun. I thought it was very entertaining, very well done. It has Walter Goggins in it, who is in Justified and some other well-known movies. He's really fun, talented actor, and some other lesser known people, I think. But it was great. I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, still watching Dark Matter as each episode comes out, and I think that also has really been great. I think, Blake Crouch is involved in the production, so I'm sure that is a big part of why it's turning out so well. And it's been years since I read the books. I don't remember how closely they're sticking to that, but it's great. I'm liking that a lot. So that's my little update, and as soon as I read any from this book, I will check in. I'll let you know what I think. So I hope you guys are enjoying the hot, sunny weather. I'll talk to you soon. I forgot to mention, tomorrow we are going to downtown Greenville for their Saturday morning farmers market. So I will be sure to get some clips of that because there are tons of fun local vendors with all kinds of baked goods and crafts and all kinds of stuff. I'll share some of that tomorrow. I'm liking this so much better already. I'm on page 4. The way the author uses imagery and sensory words and descriptions within the action and the dialogue, it's just so captivating. I'm loving it already. I know this is like super early to be judging anything at this point, but after what I just finished reading, it's like such an improvement that I love it so far. It's a great sign. I'm excited. Almost halfway through Looking Glass Sound. I know that I mentioned that Catriona Ward's writing was really great, that I was really enjoying it, and I still think that is true. I think that she has a great way of writing simply but immersively. There is involvement of the 5 senses and imagery, and she really paints a complete picture, which I think is very important, particularly when you're writing thrillers and horrors and all these things, when in reality, all of those things come into play. They're experiences that naturally provoke the experience that you have, your sensations. And so I think that is a great inclusion and is very important in this type of a story. So the story kind of starts off telling the tale of Wilder's story, and he is in high school at the start, and the first third of the book is the basic setup. So he meets Nat and Harper when his family spends the summer at Looking Glass Sound. And so he makes these friends and they form this bond. But, their friendship the entire time is pretty tumultuous. And, they spend a lot of time kind of figuring each other out, but also pressing each other's buttons. All 3 of them are very quirky and weird and have issues of different sorts, different issues. The first summer, they form this bond, they make a pact, and then the following summer, and also, so there is this hovering kind of dark presence in this town, because there is the thing called oh my gosh, I'm forgetting what he's called. The Dagger Man. Basically what he is known for at the time is just taking creepy pictures of sleeping kids at nighttime, holding a knife to their head or throat. But eventually it comes to be more than that. And so the next summer is kind of when the shit hits the fan. And so Wilder goes, and when he meets up with his friends, they have really changed a lot, and not for the better necessarily. And so pretty quickly events take a turn, and suddenly he's kind of thrust into this serial killer murder situation. I don't want to give it away, but it takes a very dark turn very quickly, and dark revelations, these things that happen, they really have an effect on Wilder. And so I'm the middle part of the book, and so Wilder is dealing with the ramifications of having been involved in some of this kind of nightmare situation, and it has a lot to say about mental illness and PTSD and anxiety. It's pretty dark, but yet I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I'm reading it really quickly. Like I said, I'm about halfway through, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I am definitely intrigued, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So I will check in with you later. I finished Looking Glass Sound. This was not at all what I expected. I'm kind of still trying to process exactly what I read. So like I mentioned in the beginning, it's very much like the story of this group of friends that are figuring their way through teenage years, and they meet on summer vacation, and there's this backdrop of like a creepy beach town with this possible serial killer or, disturbed person. But that it doesn't seem to take up very much of the narrative in the beginning. It's much more focused on the kids and their budding relationship. And then, so it's kind of like in 3 sections, and I'm not going to spoil it. So you have that first section, and then in the second half, it's college years, and it's more the aftermath of some dark things that happen. And the main character, he makes a new friend, and he is struggling with the repercussions of this thing that happened the year prior, and he's dealing with all these mental health struggles and anxiety, and then something happens in that section that kind of sparks a whole new ordeal. Okay, but the third and final section gets very weird. It's kind of all over the place. There's lots of twists in the story, and you're never really quite sure what's happening. What is the truth? Which storyline is the real deal? It's just weird. I think that I am going to give this 3 stars because Catriona Ward's writing is lovely. It's great. She, like I mentioned earlier, she is a very atmospheric writer. She includes all of the senses, and so she really pulls you into the timeline, and you almost kind of experience the eeriness and the heartbreak, and she's a great writer. So I had no issues with the prose. I think that the characters are very well done. There's definitely character development and growth. I think that where the trouble comes in for me is with the plot, not even the pacing so much, because I did feel like it kept a steady momentum throughout the entire story, and it definitely kept you guessing and kept you intrigued. You wondered at the motivations behind certain aspects of it, and I don't know, I'm just feeling very confused and unsure about this book. I don't know. It was definitely unique. That is for sure. So yeah, it's gonna be a 3-star for me. But if you are into thrillers that have ambiguous endings and that maybe lead you astray or that leave you questioning things at the end, then this one definitely checks a lot of those boxes. And maybe it's one you want to pick up. I don't know. I'm glad that I read it. I don't think I will ever read it again. And I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. So that's what I have to say about that. I would love to know if you have read this book and maybe you picked up on some things that I missed out on in the mayhem. And I would love to hear your thoughts on what happened in this book. And maybe you could shed some light on the ending. Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about it. If you have something to add, leave a comment down below. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.